Welcome back. So, today I'm going to be working or have already worked on a project for my midterm. It's for my Intro to Native Studies, and basically, we were just told to do our midterm about something that we had learned and something that how could we tell a story using our own talents and whatever. So, heads up, this is going to be a two-parter video. But I got to talking with her, my teacher, and I was trying to figure out, like, what could I do? And she mentioned the fact that as an artist, you don't have to go super realistic. It can be something that is utterly created from your mind and that has no relation to the real world. And I completely forgot about that. And so I was like, right, okay. So what can I do that is creative, not necessarily realistic, but takes reference from history? So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do the Standing Rock when there was a bunch of when the oil company, I don't even remember what oil company it was. I should know this. But they wanted to put a pipeline in some residential. I'm not sure if it was residential area, but they wanted to put it in a neighborhood, and the people there said, "Look, no, you're not going to put it here. You don't get to put a pipeline here." So instead of making the pipeline longer or whatever, they decided that, you know what, hey, we're just gonna send it straight down through the reservation, the Standing Rock Reservation. So this happened a couple years ago, and if you didn't know, well, welcome to the world. This has happened. So I kind of want to capture that and also show that, hey, what the reason why it's so dangerous to put this pipeline in here, or why they already have it put in, but why pipelines are dangerous to put under land sometimes with this type of situation. Because what happened was the pipeline got put under fresh water. Last time I checked, I was like in 5th grade, I think. Our like clean water was 2.5% out of 100%. And what we have 7 billion people, maybe that's lowered because of COVID, but we have 7 billion people roughly on this planet. And that's not a lot of water. And that was a while ago. So then I think someone told me we might be down to 1 point something already. And it went like that. So don't take my word on it. Please go look it up if you want to get the correct scientific background onto it. But this is from what I remember. So water goes quickly, but they put a pipeline under fresh water, and if the pipeline breaks, if somehow it leaks or whatever, it's going to be polluting that whole entire water system. That means less fresh water, and that also means it's going to be damaging plant life, it's going to be damaging and harming the animals, the people, and there wasn't really a care for the people that were there. And we had in our class someone that was from, they were there when this was going on and when they were protesting and saying, hey, look, don't put it here. The people that wanted to put it there, it was very intense, and I think they power hosed people down, like in the 1960s. I think it was the 1960s. God, I hope I have my history right. But and it was just kind of sad. But we were kind of told, you know, a little bit about what could happen, and we, as I think anyone in the U.S. or anyone over the world, we saw the Gulf of Mexico when that oil rigger lost the oil. How damaging was that to our plants and wildlife and the ocean and everything like that? It, you know, was very damaging. So I wanted to capture that idea of greed, and I wanted to capture that, you know, idea of how damaging oil is. Yes, oil is biodegradable, but how long does it take to biodegrade? It takes a good chunk of time. So I kind of just want to capture that. So let's see. Going into this, the cool thing about creating oil is, or one of the cool things that my teacher helped me come up with the idea was ink. It's a lot like oil. I'm pretty sure it is some sort of oil, or has, it's, let's see. It's an Indian ink. It's ink diluted with water. I will have to look it up, but it has some of the same like visual properties as oil, because oil has this very reflective surface, because it's a very deep black liquid, and when the light shines on it, it gets this almost like white reflectant on, which is really cool. But not for the planet, obviously. So I kind of want to capture that, but I also kind of felt like, what's the best way to get a message across? What's this deep, dark, grungy, kind of heavy, just you know, kind of make you feel sick? What's going to push you to feel those things? And I felt like pushing more of the dark and leaving little highlights of white in there, or very light colors, would give the whoever's viewing, the audience, that kind of like, oh, this is heavy. After we kind of, or after I mean, let's be real here. Whose art is this? No. So I really want to give it that heavy, like grungy feel. But then it kind of lacks on the focusing on the shadows and the realism, which is something I really, really just, that's my thing. I really like getting something realistic, and I really enjoy that. But at the same time, when basically creating some sort of metaphor, you have that freedom to just be creative. So I guess that's mainly the reasoning why I just made it just darker. Technically, it doesn't necessarily need to. I just took creative liberties with it. And then the funny thing I really realized after this, because I didn't really focus on the shadows, but the hand that's reaching out is more focused on the shadow than most anything, except for like the little the fist that's coming up out, and it's got the light coming down here. That has a bit more focus on the shadow, but of like a realistic kind of look. But besides that, I didn't really take into thought like, yeah, this is gonna be photorealistic, even though I'm not trying to aim for that, but I want to aim for it. I don't know. It's just kind of funny. So, anyways, let's see. What else? I believe I talked about the hair. Oh, right. Okay. So, in his hand that's coming up like this, there I'm going to go back and like make sure the hand that's first things first. So the hand that's coming out is holding a wad of cash just to represent that greed and that idea that, hey, while this oil is boiling and I decide to grab myself some cash and skidoo. That's kind of like just the idea behind it. And something that has been suggested by my mama is that it's not very visible to see. So I'm thinking when the hand that's reaching out over... Oh, shoot. I'm just realizing that the thumb might have peeked up a little bit on the corner with the line. At least that's how my hand... But, you know, whatever. It doesn't have to be a realistic hand. Could have... whatever. Anyways, stop getting distracted. So, in the hand, there's the oil and everything. But if I have wads of cash or like a couple dollar bills that's bigger and that's more visible, the audience will understand that and get that without me having to like go back and say, oh yes, this is what it was supposed to be. I don't know what you thought, but this is what was up in here. So anyways, that's just like kind of part one inside my brain and kind of what I was going through, what my mind was going through with ideas. But yeah, so part one is done. Part two should be coming out really quickly. I haven't like finished the thing. I'm like less than 1/4 away from being complete. But yes. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good rest of your week. Don't forget to like. And I will see you guys later.